The rich man came back early on a business trip. He saw his wife playing in the water with a handsome young man. Turn around and come to the room. See the mess of sheets. He can imagine how intense it was last night. However, he did not catch the current situation because he recognized who this handsome young man was. A plan came to his mind. Waiting for the wife to come home at night, he cried out to the Lord.
Oh there. Come, really?
The rich man didn't question him and the little white face. Instead, say you love him. Women are already bored. The bad old man perfunctorily turned around and walked away. He doesn't know yet that the plutocrat behind him has raised his gun. Say hello to your little lover for me. When a woman looks back impatiently, rich man shot him. The gardener at home heard gunshots. What happened later? The rich man fired 2 shots at the window, and when the gardener got scared off, he fired again. Why is that? Soon the police surrounded the place. They don't know what's going on in the house. I didn't dare to break in. Just use the loudspeaker to persuade the gunman inside to surrender. The plutocrats didn't run away because his perfect murder plan began. The police captain tried to communicate with the rich man at the door. Rich people say they can communicate, but the captain has to come in alone to talk. The captain is an experienced police officer. I know there must be surveillance outside the door. He came to the door alone, through the crack of the door to persuade the rich to put down their guns. The rich man cooperated very well and put down the gun, but also asked the captain to put the gun aside. Both men were unarmed and began negotiations. We received a report. Say your family is suspected of shooting and killing. Where is the wife? I killed him there. The captain turned to look. A woman lies in the street. After seeing the woman's face clearly, the captain suddenly became angry. It turns out that he is a woman's lover. He rushed up and started beating the rich man. The woman is not dead. He was rushed to the hospital for emergency treatment. The captain glared at the rich man sitting in the police car. Rich man in a police car. He vowed to bring this man to justice. And the plutocrat looked at the sad captain, and she responded with a smirk. A few days later, the court began to hear the case. The prosecution attorney is a young Jackie. Despite his young age, he has a 97% win rate. Lawyers hired by top law firms. In Jackie's opinion, the trial of this case is a formality. Rich man confessed to the crime in front of the police captain. Signed a confession at the police station. I found the murder weapon again at the crime scene. Jackie is very happy. Isn't this case used to swipe data? But he never expected. At the beginning of the preliminary trial, the tycoon changed his tune and said he pleaded not guilty. He has to defend himself. No need for defense counsel. The judge reminds you that this is not a small case. Do you want to die by defending yourself? However, rich man insists on not having lawyers irradiate his rights before the trial is over. He also provoked air lawyer Jackie. Said he wanted to skip the trial. Come to the police station. Looks very confident. Jackie didn't care about the evidence in his hands. This old man can't make waves anymore. However, that very night, he gets a call from a colleague. The other party said that the police inspection report came out. The murder weapon found in the wealthy man's house was never fired. So that gun wasn't the real murder weapon. And the police searched the whole house. No other guns were found. At first, the police think the rich man threw the murder weapon outside. Can be detected through monitoring. The rich man has never left the house scene. The stall found has no fingerprints either. So it's not evidence of plutocracy. And there was no gunpowder residue on the rich man's hands when he was arrested. There's no blood in Yever. That is to say, there is no evidence at all that the rich man is the murderer. Jackie now understands why the rich have no fear. He can't figure it out, how plutocrats do it seamlessly. But Jackie is not worried. No matter how perfect the rich do, they will lose, because he still has rich people in his hands. Autographed confession. He wants to see what the rich man uses to reverse the case for himself. The trial began. Jackie called 3 prosecution witnesses. The first is a wealthy gardener. He was the first to hear the gunshots, also the one who called the police. Before the police arrived, he didn't see anyone else entering the rich man's house. The second is the attending physician of the wealthy wife. He proved that his wife was shot in the head. Bullet cannot be removed. Severe brain injury in a vegetative state. Now he is living by intubation. Jackie's purpose for inviting the two, just to prove 2 points. One is from crime to arrest. I haven't seen anyone else in the rich family. The second is that although the wife is not dead, but plutocrats should still be murdered. Jackie is trying to convict the rich, and the rich man who is the defendant is not panicking at all. He paints with ease, because these testimonies are indefinable. Rich people are murderers. The next third witness is the key. The police captain who called the police that day. He proved. The rich man himself confessed to murdering his wife. And at the police station, I also quickly signed the confession. Captain's testimony and confession, likely to convict the rich. At this time, the rich man took up the pen, started to defend himself. He stood up against the police captain's testimony, but he's not a professional lawyer. I don't know how to express it. The judge said, just talk like you usually chat with people. Fucking the victim. He said layman's terms. The plutocrat explained that he wasn't swearing. He could only find this sentence to describe because the police captain cannot be a witness. He had an inappropriate relationship with my wife. I hired one. Private detectives. They go to the hotel every week to open a room. I have reserved all the evidence, including Jackie. The audience was shocked. The prosecution actually had this relationship with the defendant's wife. Then all testimony must be invalidated. And the judge had reason to suspect. The confession signed by the rich man at the police station. It was caused by the police captain's revenge. Lover was shot. The adultery was exposed. The captain became angry, disregarding the majesty of the court. If you rush up, you will beat the rich man and find out. Step forward immediately to maintain order. Take the captain away. Rich man gets up and looks at Jackie. Jackie knows he's met a great character. If there is no new evidence next week, the rich man will be acquitted. In fact, everyone knows that the rich are the murderers. Standing in the law of the United States without reasoning. Only talk about evidence. Next, Jackie is no longer arrogant. Start looking for evidence seriously. He first came to the hotel where the captain and the rich man's wife cheated. They meet here twice a week. Now that the rich man has discovered the secret, then he must have been here too. Jackie asked the hotel to check the monitoring. See if the rich have been here. It will take a while. Then Jackie came to the rich man's house to search. As long as the real murder weapon is found, the case is won. But unfortunately, this third big search also ended in failure. Jackie really doesn't get it. Where did the rich man hide the gun that committed the crime? Unfortunately, he had to come to the hospital. Pray that the victim can wake up and correct the rich man. He saw the woman's eyelids move. Like waking up. Prayer answered. The nurse threw cold water on him. It's just a reaction of the vegetative nervous system. Sometimes the eyelids move. Sometimes it's normal to do it manually. It's not a sign of waking up. Even if I can wake up, memories will also be erased, let alone identify the murderer. Tomorrow is the day of the final judgment. Jackie still hasn't found any new evidence. The murderer is on the loose. The police captain found Jackie. I know someone from the forensics department. That guy owes me one. Let him help forge a piece of evidence. You and I both know that rich people are murderers. As long as he can be convicted. Does it matter if the evidence is true, right? Jackie declined. He wanted to win. But you can't win this way.
Go home.
Jackie gets a call from the hotel when he gets home. The surveillance found that a person who looked very rich had been here. Unfortunately, the man was wearing a hat and sunglasses, so his face was not photographed. Cannot be used as evidence in court. Jackie knows this guy is rich. He was very angry. Everyone knows that the rich are the murderers, but they all thought it was his wife who cheated, and he committed a crime impulsively. And now it doesn't seem like an impulsive crime. Even sunglasses and hats, all prepared in advance. Apparently an orchestrated wife murder. Then the police captain called again. Say perjury has been done. Just hand it over to court tomorrow. The rich will be convicted. This time Jackie didn't refuse immediately. He went back to the hospital. Looking at the vegetative man lying in bed, he hesitated between respecting the law and convicting the murderer. The next day, before the Chin trial began, Jackie, hand over the assistant. I'll call you later. You send this thing in. Then he told me he found new evidence. Looks like Jackie still decided to use perjury. The petition begins. Rich appeal. If the Air Force cannot provide evidence of its guilt, the court should acquit him immediately. This is his right as a taxpayer. The judge asked Jackie if he had any new evidence. Jackie pulls out his phone and prepares to call the assistant. But the moment you press the dial button, he hesitated. Professional ethics put him through an ideological struggle. Eventually he gave up on using perjury. Answer. The judge has no new evidence. The judge had no choice but to declare motion for judgment of the crude rescript. Jury is released with our apologies. And the defendant is free to go. The rich man smiled proudly. The police captain was disappointed. And for the first time, Jackie's career was shamed. He sat in the courtroom and refused to leave. I don't know if my decision is correct. Then suddenly there was a gunshot outside. Jackie runs out to see. It turned out that the police captain committed suicide. He once told Jackie, he and the rich man's wife, it's not just about lovers, but they can't live without each other. Failed to bring the rich to justice to avenge their lovers. He committed suicide. Rich man smug. That's two birds with one stone. It's solved for both men and women. Get away perfectly. Jackie didn't give up completely. He comes to the hospital from time to time. See if you can find any clues from the victim. Rich man came to the hospital and met Jackie. Jackie is full of resentment towards him. This failed trial. Not only did he lose his job, it's an insult to justice. Regal said he came this time to end his life by extubating his wife. This is his power as a husband. Jackie hurried to the law to find a judge friend. A restraining order was issued through various relationships, but when he rushed back to the hospital with a restraining order, the plutocrat has asked the doctor to disembowel his wife. The victim is completely dead. Jackie is very desperate. The murderer is right in front of you, and there was nothing he could do. After this incident, Jackie stopped looking for a job at a law firm. The magic of working on this case at home all day. Rich man shoots his wife at home. Why can't we find the murder weapon? But after researching for a long time, he couldn't find a clue. Until this day, a friend put the same mobile phone on the table to chat with him. The phone rings, and my friend thinks it's his phone. But after answering, I realized that I made a mistake. This is Jackie's phone. The moment Jackie took the phone, he suddenly realized. Understand the mystery. Jackie immediately found the rich man, expressed his reasoning. You bought the same pistol as the police captain. You didn't go to the hotel that day to catch rape. Instead, he swapped his gun with the captain's. He actually killed his wife with the captain's gun. After the police arrived, you named the captain and let him in alone, and put down the gun to negotiate. After the captain found out that the victim was his lover, out of control, you took the opportunity to switch the gun back. So your gun was never fired. The real murder weapon was always worn on the captain. No wonder the murder weapon has never been found. The rich man smiled. Do you still have 2 brushes? Your reasoning is very successful. That day before the police arrived, I took a shower and threw my clothes on fire, so the police can't find the gunpowder residue on me, and blood-stained clothes. But it's too late to say anything now. Under the law, one crime cannot be second-round moderation. I have pleaded not guilty in this case. They don't have the right to re-sue me. Then Jackie said calmly, who did I charge you with murder? And now the oxygen tube is also pulled out and the wife is dead. I can charge you with murder again. Soon after, the rich man was indicted again. This time he did not take it lightly. He hired a large team of lawyers to defend himself. The movie ends here. Leave an open ending. Some people think the plutocrats will still win because Jackie pulled out the oxygen tube as a rich man. The team name that caused the death of the wife is not valid at all. As a husband, I have the right to do so. It's all regular procedure. Some people think the rich will lose the case. The victim didn't die before. Bullet cannot be removed. Now people are dead. The bullet can be taken out and paired with the police captain's gun. But there are 2 problems with this accusation. One is the person in the hotel surveillance can't fully prove that he is rich, so the reasoning that the rich go to the hotel to change guns does not hold. The second bullet taken out, even if it can be paired with the captain's gun, this can only prove the wife was killed by this gun. How do you prove that the rich man fired the gun? It doesn't prove that the rich changed their guns. None of that is final. Do you think the wealthy will eventually be convicted?